Hello, everybody. This is Matt Sloan from Sensory Fitness and Lackey Kid. Um, Today is our first launch of Sensory Fitness Live, partnering with Lackey Kid, and this is our first our first go. So I'm excited about it. Thank you all for being here. That's great. I appreciate you guys being here. Excuse me, I'm going to have some notes here because this is my first time. So if you see me reading, because I'm reading. Okay. So this is Sensory Fitness Live, and I partner with Lackey Kid, and we're going to be doing this once a week on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. At Pacific Standard Time. And this is all about activities for you to do at home. This is all about parents and to help you kind of gain a deeper understanding as to some behaviors your kids might be having, as well as doing some activities in the home and making some modifications and stuff to the environment. So if you have a kid that's struggling with a kind of a sensory difficulty on some level, or they're doing some behaviors that just you're kind of tired and they're kind of difficult, and there's just something there, there's no particular diagnosis or anything, but there is something there, and you just want some help. This is it. So this is all about sensory strategies. I want to be clear and state that sensory strategies are an answer. They're a great tool to use in conjunction with other strategies that you might be using, such as behavior, mental health, behavior strategies, these kinds of things. So let's get started. Okay, so excellent. So today's first topic is what to do when a kid's in the yellow zone. So if you don't know, yellow zone is taken from the zones of regulation, and they use colors to help describe what kind of mood you're in, what kind of emotional state you're in. So blue, if you're in the blue zone, you're kind of below the water, you're kind of sluggish, you're kind of sleepy, you have a low affect. It's hard for you to get going, get moving. So that's the blue zone. Okay. Then there's the green zone. And the green zone, excuse me, I have sight words. I've been doing sight words with my kid during this homeschool time. So some of these have words on them. But the green zone is kind of on the water. We're participating, we're active, we're paying attention. Hopefully right now you are all in the green zone. Okay. This is where we strive to be when we want kids to do things we want them to do, right? The green zone. Then there's the yellow zone. This is what we're talking about today. The yellow zone is when my kid's a bit more bouncy and they're hard to keep attention. They're ping ponging off the walls. Maybe they're a little aggravated. Maybe they're a little annoyed. So just a little bit more squirrely. This is the yellow zone. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And then of course the hot zone, the red zone, is when, all right, it's hit the fan. The kid is it's difficult to engage because maybe they're having a meltdown or they completely shut down. They're hot. Okay, the brain is something different. So this one we'll gladly talk about, but not today. Today we're going to kind of focus on the yellow zone and things we can do to help us get back to the green zone. Okay. All right. So I thank you. Hello, Angela. Good to see you. Again, thank you all for being here. So let's get started on some activities. So the very first thing I want to kind of talk about is activating the vestibular system. So let's talk about the squeaky wheel, right? So the kids that are ping-ponging off the walls and they're super squirrely, and especially during this time when we're at home with our kids and we're trying to do education because of this crazy pandemic and all this out of norm stuff. It might be difficult to get some of our kids engaged when we have the time to address school, right? So sometimes some of our kids are ping pong off the wall. They're maybe a little squirrely. They're having a hard time focusing, sitting down at the table. Hello, Angelica. And so what can we do about that? So some of our kids, they might be seeking some vestibular input, right? Vestibular is kind of in my head. It's the movement of my head. And maybe my kids are rocking. Maybe they're moving their bodies all over the place and they just want to keep moving. So we're going to show you some vestibular activities you can do at home with my assistant Willie, right? Willie going to help me out? There he is. So first of all, if you have a swing, great, awesome. Use the swing. Get that linear movement. Get that rocking back and forth throughout the day as much as you can, because that's getting that kid that vestibular input that maybe they're looking for. Maybe they're seeking. You've heard the term seeking and craving. These are things that, they're doing this ping pong because they're trying to get their brains organized to attend whatever it is you're trying to get them to attend to, right? So, if you have a swing, use the swing. That's great. If not, what can you do at home? So, if you have a couch, use the couch. Let's use that. So, jumping and crashing was the first one. I've shown this before when I was on Ask an Autism Mom with Jen Eggert. So some of this stuff I've done already on that show, but it's kind of the same thing. So here we go. Here we go, Willie. My assistant Willie will be here. So here I have something to jump on. I'm gonna go over here. So this is active, so I'll be back and forth. So I got him something to stand on. He's just gonna jump into a big beanbag. Go, jump. Yeah. That's it. And he does it again. Hop up again. Give me like 5, buddy. So you could do this from a couch onto a pile of pillows or a pile of blankets, or a bed, jumping up and down on a bed, stuff like that. So he's getting that input to his head, right? Do one more, Will. We'll do 3. Ready? Big jump. Go.
I'm on 3.
All right, do one more. Ready? Go. 4. Nice. All right, awesome. So if you don't want to use your couches because you care about them and you don't want your furniture to get ruined or whatever, maybe your apartment's too small or whatever. So let's use things that but we don't need equipment. There's some things we can do, right? So Willie, hop on the yellow dot, buddy. Go stand on the yellow dot. When working with kids, it's cool to have like a visual cue for them, like go stand on the dot, right? Go stand here. Give them something to go stand on or sit on, because this is the defined space rather than like go over there. Well, over there's a million places over there, right? But if I say go stand on the dot or go stand next to the pencil or go stand, I don't know, on the blanket or the pillow, they know where to go. Okay, so Willie, let's see your somersault. You're gonna roll this way. So forward roll. Let's see if you can do it. Whoa, we're just doing somersaults. Or can you go backwards? Go backwards. Whoa. Somersaults, backward rolls. How about a log roll? Go to the yellow dot.
Yeah, I know what that is.
You know what a log roll is? There you go. Let me see a log roll. So Willie's been practicing these too. So there you go. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Go back. Go back. All right. So that's pretty simple. Not rocket science, right? And maybe one more we can do. All right, put your head on the yellow dot. There you go. Whoa. Oh, geez, Louise. Oh, geez, Louise. There we go. Give me. All right. Just do a handstand, right? Headstand. A lot of input to that head. Okay. All right, cool. And that's a cool skill to learn anyway. All these motor activities are really good anyway because you're getting core strength, you're getting movement. It can also spin them up very much. Okay. That's having no equipment. If you have something to pull the kid on, like a scooter, those are great. So have them sit on the scooter or on their tummies. I imagine doing a scooter at a lot of houses or having even a scooter around the house is probably maybe impractical. So having kids on a pillow, maybe you can pull, maybe you have wood floors on the house. I happen to have mats on the ground here. And I just have a tire. It doesn't have to be a tire. It could be a pillow. It could be a cushion. Okay, Willie, have a seat on there, buddy. Sit in there, like sit in the boat. Sit in the boat. All right, here, put your feet out. Grab onto the rope. Okay, all I'm doing is pulling them around. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. Here, Larry. And yeah. So, and if he doesn't want to hold on, if he doesn't have strong grip, I can tie it around the tire or around his waist. Something like that. It could be a sheet. Doesn't have to be a rope. Something where he's getting pulled. All right. All right. Or something bouncy too. Something bouncy is awesome. If I have a tire, an old inflatable tire, they can jump up and down. These are great trampolines. And some people have trampolines. All right, hop off there, buddy. Do one more. Oh, geez. Okay. Here we go. Here's the next one. Ready? On the yellow dot.
No, I was just gonna start.
Okay, on the yellow dot. All right. So maybe you have a yoga ball or a therapy ball or around your house. This is the Lackey Kid balance ball. This thing's great. So if you have one, something like this, everyone knows this one. You all right, just leave that one in here. Here, sit here. Maybe while he's you're reading him a story or whatever, they're just bouncing on the ball. Okay, pretty simple. The thing about the Lackey Kid ball is, stand up real quick, buddy. Oops, sorry. It's got these cool little legs on it. Turn it upside down. Have a seat, buddy. He's got handles. Now you got a bouncy ball. Boom. There you go. Let's see it. And you can rip around the house, stuff like that. Okay? Okay, good job. Whoa, sorry. All right. So that is getting the vestibular system going. That can be very organizing. That can be getting input that some of the kids are trying to get by moving around and stuff like that. Come over here. On the yellow dot, buddy. Yellow dot. Okay. So the thing about the vestibular system, sometimes that helps kids get organized, and they do that for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes a half an hour, sometimes a really long time, and they come back and they're good to go, right? I got my movement. I got that input to my head. I feel good. Other times, getting the vestibular system activated can ramp a kid up even more, right? That can happen. It happens quite a bit. So if it's not working, if that's the wrong thing to choose, then there's a lot of other things we can do. Today, we're going to look at oral motor and specifically kind of look at the bubble jug, okay? I've done the bubble jug before. All it is a jug filled with water and soap. It doesn't have to be a jug. It can be a bowl of water. It can be a cup, something. And all I'm doing is having the kid blow some bubbles. Okay, I'm going to put this down a little bit here. Come here, Willie. Have a seat here, buddy. Why don't you sit on the beanbag? There you go. Here we go. Also, having a kid when I'm doing anything with a kid and I can give them some support and some feedback with a beanbag, it's a good thing to do. One rule I always tell the kid is don't drink. Okay, and all he's doing is blowing bubbles into the bubble jug. That's it. Okay. So I'm just reading Angela's question. Angela, I will get to your question in just a second. Sorry, I lost you guys. Okay. Give me 1 second for that. And all he's doing is blowing bubbles into the bubble jug. That's it. And this is a great calm down activity. Oral motor is a really good go-to. Angela's question is low muscle tone. So I'm going to answer that second part of that question here in a second. So if a kid does have low muscle tone, and this can be tough, because blowing bubbles, I kind of need a strong mouth, and this can be tough, so kids just quit. If you can do this, awesome. Bubble jug. Great. Piece of cake, right? Okay, stop there for a second. There's a lot of resistance in that, so that can be difficult. I can also try things like bubbles, just blowing bubbles. I'm going to give my kid a straw. Here you go, buddy. And this is a little easier because there's less resistance. And then all he's doing, blow the bubble. No, blow the bubble. No. put the straw in your mouth and try to blow it. Yeah. And he's just blowing the bubble around. That's it. Ready? So I'm getting his attention on a thing, an object, right? And that helps me kind of focus and calm down. Here, try to blow a bubble, buddy. Whoop. Whoop. Whoa. So different ways to do that, okay? So oral motor, things where I have to blow or suck something with the straw is a good way to kind of bring that level down. So using stuff like bubbles can sometimes kind of spin you up as well because it's very visual. Ooh, very exciting. In which case, where'd you put Batman? Go get that in the pump, please. Using things like balloons are really good to use because it's stationary. It's not going anywhere. Like a bubble, I have to kind of track, and I might lose the kid. So using things like balloons are awesome. Regular balloons I get can sometimes be super difficult. So the bigger the balloon, kind of the bopper ones, let's use your mouth. Let's use your mouth first. They're a little easier to use, right? Except maybe that one. Maybe that example. So if it's too tough, they also have these cool balloons. I got this from the grocery store at Fred Meyer around here. You maybe live somewhere else. There's not a Fred Meyer, but it's just a real loose balloon. They sell them online. Here. Stuff like that, just to make it a little easier. Again, I'm just looking for input from the mouth, right? And just blowing it up. And this thing you can blow up to a massive size, so it makes it, they can't really pop it. Okay, if the oral motor is tough, okay, if it's not working and the lip seal's not working and the kids gives up and they're still kind of having a difficult time, then let's go to my fidgets. Okay, I'm gonna keep using this balloon, and here I just have a pump. If you have a pump, maybe you have a Bosu ball or a yoga ball. A lot of times these come with them. It's just a hand pump. I'm gonna give this to the kid. I'm gonna make sure that they're in like a bean bag. I might shut the lights out and reduce the noise. And I'll put this on the, there you go. Super simple. And all he's going to do is pump it up. There you go. Okay, while he's doing that. So fidgets are really cool to use. Fidgets is anything I'm manipulating with my hands, right? So then I'm bringing my attention, I'm focusing it to this thing in front of me, as opposed to around here. This might be too much. Maybe the lights are too bright. Maybe there's too much going on. So I'm bringing my attention to this thing in my hand, and I have to focus on this. Okay. Good job, buddy. So if this is the case, right? I might have them sit in a beanbag. The more resistive, having resistance can help. So giving them something like the Lackey Kid resistance band is really cool because I can do a lot of things with this. I can just pull it and they just play with it, put it on their head, give them a squeeze. That's not really a fidget, but a lot of things you can do with that. But I might have them also, here, get on your tummy, buddy. Can I have that, please? Right here. Awesome. Here, get on your tummy, Willie. On your tummy. Here, lay here. Awesome. And this is a good here's strategy you can use. You can plop this right on their back, right? So while they're on their stomach, I might give them some putty or here's the Lackey Kid marble maze. This thing's great. It's a great fidget, okay? And it's got a little marble in there. They have to get it through the maze, okay? Something like that. So it doesn't matter whatever their favorite fidget is. It doesn't matter, as long as it's here. This is a good calm down activity. I have this thing on their back. Maybe it's a weighted blanket, right? A little more weight to it, okay? Some kids don't like that extra weight, so if it's just something on their back, giving them, I've heard it called the turtle shell. Get your turtle shell on your back, and they can sit here and just chill out for a bit. You can use putty. You got it. Awesome. Putty's a really good one. I love putty because it's really resistive. The more resistive, kind of that, and we're getting that proprioception. We're getting that, really getting that input, stuff like that. Okay. All right. What do you think, buddy? I'm gonna leave him there for a bit. So I don't want to go over too many activities all at once. This is the first day. Really, today we're just looking at what do we do with our kids in the yellow zone, and these are some vestibular activities we can do, some fidget ideas, as well as some oral motor ideas. So using those three things and experimenting with them. And if you try something and the kid is more spun up, okay, you tried it didn't work, okay, you try something else. So think of look at their behavior, see what they're doing, and notice their reaction. If it's worse, then try something else. But let's go ahead and go to some of these questions here. So I have a question from Angela White. I kind of half read it earlier. So your child has a medical condition that causes low muscle tone, and he's a seeker. Are there any of these that would help him? So so low muscle tone just means it takes longer for the muscle to kind of fire, to activate, and it makes it a little bit more difficult with coordination and strength like that. Well, thanks, buddy. All right, why don't you go take a break? Good job. Don't bring that upstairs. Your mom's gonna kill me. Keep it here. Keep it here. No putty in the house. So yeah, any of these activities can help with muscle tone, especially the resistive ones, especially things like putty or that input, especially vestibular, climbing and jumping. A lot of times with muscle tone, with low muscle tone, if I can help wake that body up, it helps me fire that muscle a little faster and get more input to help me be more present and stuff like that. All right, buddy. So, yeah. If anyone has any more questions, I just have the one, but that's okay. Go ahead and put it up there. But yeah, so these activities again are just to help you during these times. While we're at home stuck with our kids, and maybe our kids in that yellow zone quite a bit. And we're looking for other ways to help them either get back to the work we're trying to get them to do while we're also being teachers at home, or just maybe stop trashing the house. Who knows? There's a lot of different things you can try. So good job, buddy. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, if you're watching this, not the live version, this is the tape version, go ahead and please message me anytime. I'm available for any kind of questions, stuff like that. Also, I want to point out that I've developed a series of videos, and it's on my website, sensoryfitness.org. You can check them out. It's called Sensory Strategies for Sensory Solutions for Challenging Behaviors. And you can go there if you go there to online teaching, and you can sign up and you can get 2 free videos to check it out, see if you're interested, and it's there. And these are, I'll talk about trying to deeper understanding of the sensory systems and how it does affect behavior, and maybe why our kids are doing some of the things that they're doing, as well as some strategies you can do at home and modifications you can make to the environment as well. So I'm going to read from my script because I can't remember how I'm supposed to close this, so pardon me. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Join us again next week live, Sensory Fitness and Lackey Kid. I'm going to have my other kid with me, show you some different stuff. And please type in 5 in the comments below. Sorry, just a second. If you want to join us, if you want to get notifications, if you want to get notifications, please type 5 in the comments below. And yeah, thank you all so much. It's really great to have you guys here. I appreciate it. Join us again next week. And remember, a sound body is a sound mind. Keep moving. Thank you very much.